It's 5:45 p.m., which means it's time for BC TV's Nightly News Roundup. I'm tonight's host, Roland Boyden, and this is 5:45 Live. Tonight, our first broadcast back in the studio since Hurricane Irene hit Brattleboro, and well, I get to take off the rubber boots and get behind the desk. This show is still all about the flooding. On the agenda for tonight, the public info session held for affected residents downstairs earlier this afternoon, as well as the special Brattleboro Select Board meeting happening as we speak. What Governor Shumlin and Senator Pat Leahy had to say when they stopped by town. Comments from Town Manager Barb Sondag, a look at FEMA's stop by Brattleboro. We'll talk to Chris Hart of the Brattleboro Housing Authority, and more. That's all on the way, and it's all in 15 minutes, so stick with us. This is 5:45 Live's Roland Boyden with a special BC TV report. I'm on Flat Street here, and as you can see as you can see behind me here, the street is completely flooded. You have people, up to their knees in water here, cars that are completely submerged. Down by the corner of Flat and Elm Street, oh my God, look at this. Let's see who's trying to get their car out of here. Gone! Gone! That's footage from yesterday's 5:45 Live special broadcast. I was out with senior news correspondent Joe Bushy waiting around on Flat Street with networks sitting on their hands in New York waiting for a storm that did not hit there. It was up to citizens in Brattleboro to report the news. This story unfolded on Facebook, on the local site iBrattleboro, and mostly on YouTube.
Brattleboro, Vermont, and you can see what the floodwaters are starting to do. There's a couple cars underwater here.
Beginning with the flooding in Vermont, NBC's Ron Allen is up in Brattleboro. Ron, good morning to you.
As the waters in places like Brattleboro began to rise. This is usually a sleepy little New England town, and that's a babbling brook normally behind me there, but the water is just raging. This is downtown Brattleboro, Vermont. You can see the muddy water racing underneath this bridge. They shut the bridge down.
And networks, of course, now have picked up this story. It has gone global. MSNBC, CNN, and The Today Show, along with Democracy Now! And Fox News. Fox News interviewing Chris Grodke of iBrattleboro, and MSNBC and The Today Show, as well as CBS News taking footage from yesterday's 5:45 Live broadcast, along with footage uploaded by several other local YouTube users. And moving on, we'll take you back to William Street, where at around 1 p.m., Governor Shumlin and Senator Pat Leahy stopped by for a press conference. Let me just ask you really quickly, how many troops have responded so far?
We have over 200 that are working around the state. Most of them are in relatively small person teams, but they're scattered around doing a variety of different missions.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Reach out to your neighbors and friends. We have hundreds and hundreds of seniors, of low-income Vermonters who've been displaced from their homes. It just breaks your heart. They're living in shelters. If they're willing to take one or two in, much better to be in a home-cooked meal in someone's home in a bed with a family than it is to be in a shelter. And we're in this for a long haul.
We Vermonters feel it because we live here, but we're in this all together. And the governor has been unbelievable. The way he's been going out, the general has got the guard, probably the best National Guard in the country, out doing the things they're doing, and we just have to do it. But you watch it from the helicopter. One of the reasons when the state police tell you to stay off a road, there's a reason. We saw roads that we were perfectly clear from the air, and then you go another mile, there's a huge washout. If anybody's going down that road, they would have died.
Vermonters are tough. We're tenacious. We stick together. We take care of each other, and we're going to pull through this. So it is discouraging. We don't get tropical storms. Irene whacked us hard. We prepared for the worst and hoped for the best. Unfortunately, we got the worst, and we'll get through this.
We caught up with Town Manager Barb Sondag on William Street as well.
We've not received any word of any kind of problems. The Connecticut River is rising. However, all the dams are in working order. We've not had any issues with that. We are watching the Connecticut, and because the Connecticut backflows into the West River, we are watching the West River. We have along the Connecticut River in our wastewater treatment plant, and then a couple of different businesses, they've secured the properties. We have pulled staff from some of the areas that we're concerned about so that nobody gets left out on their own. However, at this point, we do think we'll be okay. We are closely watching it, but there are no breaches in any of the dams.
Next, my tireless senior news correspondent Joe Bushy, who hasn't had any sleep since this flood, caught up with Brattleboro Housing Authority Director Christine Hart about the happenings at Melrose Place and Hayes Court.
Hey Roland, we're here with Chris Hart from Brattleboro Housing Authority, and she's going to give us a little update on what's going on down here in Melrose Terrace.
Melrose sustained significant damage. Hayes Court is being reoccupied as we speak. We anticipate that it'll take us another day to assess the damage here at Melrose. I particularly wanted to extend our deepest thanks to the town of Brattleboro for evacuating our places early and for the great care that they've taken of our residents. I can't say enough about how well the town officials have handled a very, very bad situation.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And while Joe was running around town, he also managed to catch some footage of FEMA's brief stop here in Brattleboro before they headed up to Burlington just to get back down to Rutland, as that's the only way you can go. Let's take a look at that footage as well. And moving on, town officials, the Brattleboro Fire Department, and Brattleboro Police held a public info session for affected residents here in this very building earlier this afternoon. Our BCTV cameras were there as well.
We've made a tremendous amount of progress in evaluating buildings. Some of the information that I'm going to give to you right now may be different from the information that you have had earlier in the day. CVPS has been incredible to work with. And right up to the last minute, we were able to open a number of buildings. We started in the heaviest population.
And speaking of the Brattleboro Select Board room here in the Municipal Center, there's a special Brattleboro Select Board meeting going on as we speak. That'll go out on Channel 10 live, so you can tune 2 spots up the dial as soon as you're done watching me, of course. The complete broadcast of that, as well as the Governor and Senator Pat Leahy's press conference and more, will all be available at BrattleboroTV.org on our video on demand, and of course be on our channels 8 and 10 as well. You can go back to BrattleboroTV.org to find a schedule updated to the minute, check those local listings, and find out when those programs will play in their entirety. And that's a full lid, so thanks for checking in with us. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow and Wednesday with plenty more flood footage. Over 30 BCTV producers have submitted shots to us, so we'll get that for you. We'll also check back in with some of the regular happenings, our calendar and BCTV schedule, quick glance, and more. For BCTV and 545 Live, I'm Roland Boyden saying goodnight, everybody.